Hey class, Absolute 5 here, and today we're going to talk about squaring binomials. So, a binomial squared is equal to the square of the first terms plus the square of the second term. So, what is that? Let us generalize what that is. So, when we have a binomial, you're squaring it. So, when you square it, whoopsie, you need to write this out twice. So, I'm left with you have to distribute the a into each term. So a times a will be a squared, and then you'll be left with plus ab, because a times b is ab, and then you do it again. And then you're left with plus b squared. So you're left with a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And vice versa for this, you'll be left with the same idea. If you distribute, you're left with a times a squared, a times negative b will be negative ab plus b squared, because negative times negative will be positive, and then you're left with a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Awesome. So that's in general. When you're squaring binomials, there's a certain pattern you're going to see after you do it after a while. Like for example, this one. You're going to be left with p minus q, and you write it again, and I'm left with, I'll write it down here, p squared minus 2, well, I'm moving too fast now. So p times p squared. P times q would be negative pq minus pq, because you're left with to do the inner again, plus q squared, and I'm left with p squared minus 2pq plus q squared. All right. Now this one's going to be a little bit much different than the other ones, because we're squaring a 2xa plus 5 in there. So we're left with 2 times x plus 5. You rewrite it again, 2x plus 5, and now you do the FOIL method, and you're left with 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 5 will be plus 10x, and then you do it again for the inner, and then plus 25, and finally you're left with 4x squared plus 20x plus 25. Awesome. This one's also going to be very different from the other one because, well, there's a lot to consider. Let's take our time with this one. So we're going to rewrite this twice. Whoops, 7y. So the problem is x squared minus 7y getting squared. You rewrite this twice. So then, now you distribute each of these terms one at a time. So x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times negative 7y will be negative 7x squared y squared? No. There is no y. So it's negative 7x squared y, then minus 7x squared y plus 14. No, not 14, sorry. Why did I thought 14? Because I added them. So negative times negative is positive. 7 times 7 is 49y squared. There we go. That makes much more sense. Now we combine these two, we're left with x to the 4 minus, now this is minus 14x squared y plus 49y squared. All right. One more. So y plus 3 times y plus 3. Which would give me, after I distribute, I get y squared plus 3y plus 9, and I'm left with y squared plus 6y plus 9. Pretty simple. So we got another one that was like this one coming up. All right, so here we go. We write this as 6x plus 5 getting squared, so we write the terms twice, and then we use the FOIL method, remember? FOIL. So then we're left with, whoops, no parentheses, that's gone, equal sign. 6x times 6x is 36x squared. Why is it 36? Because 6 times 6 is 36, and x times x is x squared. 6x times 5 will be plus 30x. And then we do it again for the inner, and then we're left with 25. Why? Because 5 times 5 is 25. And then we combine the middle terms. I'm left with 36x squared plus 60x plus 25. These are some big trinomials. And that's the last video. That's not last video. That's the last question for today. So that's your homework for you guys to do. So again, it looks like I'm doing everything redundantly. The difference though is that if you notice in the last video, it was more like you were kind of given different signs and they weren't the same. The difference of a binomial is that there's two terms. So you either add the two terms or you're subtracting the two terms. That's what makes a binomial because it's two terms. Okay? So that's the lesson for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Mash the bell button for more content, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. This has been Absolute 5. I'm Roger Palomino. Math is infinite because there are infinitely many possibilities. And don't forget, don't hate, calculate, man. Just calculate.